Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzansi. We are back again. It's that time of the night where we have to deliver what was happening today in court. I'm sure it's a long story because when Musia testifies, it gets more technical and complicated for certain people, but I'm sure not for everyone. While we are doing that, please subscribe, like the video, and do what is right for this channel and for yourself also. Thank you for those who immediately remember to do so and does not need to be reminded.
Thank
as
you.
much as we also do not forget to go live, guys. Please make sure that you like that video and subscribe if you need to subscribe. It is important for this channel. It's what you can give. If you cannot support anywhere else, please support by subscribing and commenting and doing everything that you need to do, but do so respectfully. And to all people that are in this comment section, they will engage you in a proper way. Some of them have more information in terms of what is happening. Some of them understand the case. Some of them, they work with these things. So please subscribe, please like the video, please share the video, and join the membership if you need to join the membership. There is going to be a flagging thing that is going to be showing you how to do it if you are confused. For those who are confused, if you cannot like the video, if you cannot subscribe, that means you got the video wherever it was shared and you took it like that, you went through that. And if you do that, it's not going to allow you because you need to be on YouTube app, and that will allow you to actually do any other thing that you need to do. It's a welcome. Emily, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm alive. I woke up. I was able to go to work. Yeah.
So, hi guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. And I really hope that you guys are also doing well in your respective fields and respective lives, and everything is going well as we keep track of the Senzo Meyiwa case. So, Warrant Officer Thabo Mosia continued on the stand today, and Musia's examination in chief was extremely boring, but I managed to decipher some of the things that I think might be of interest to us here. You know, Musia said that
I don't know, just to disturb you, I mean, I don't know if I should help and sort of summarize everything that has been happening since we started in November. It's not long. I know by the look in your face, you're thinking it's going to take 30 minutes. It might actually take 2 minutes. What are the key points for me that I'm finding before we go to this one?
Okay.
So there are two things. There's one thing that we have established. One is that the two accused that were pointed initially as number 1 and number 2, one of them needed to be removed so that they can put number 3 on the scene. I'm not saying they did that, but basically for the theory to make sense, they would need to do that.
We can remember this from Menzisto's in video and encounter with the family, where with accused number 1, before they arrested him and charged him, they actually went with him to his home looking for photographs of dreadlocks, right?
So reason being is that they need dreadlocks, and he's the only one who probably has their dreadlocks, and then they need a gun. And so far, what we have gathered is that he's the only one who was caught with a pistol.
Killing machine.
Yes. So now that, as if that is not difficult, to even change the complexion now, because the explanation of those people dark and darker. So they needed to change that. They needed to find a way of doing that. Which brings us to the issue of people that testified about the cases of Alex and Cleveland. The state still needs to answer why those people were there. And why?
So?
Yes, they still need to answer why they were there. They said there is going to be a link, and that link is not coming up so well. And why I would say that?
Why?
Today, what we have finally, or I would say, put to, I think, if you were confused, you are put at ease. Why? Because Musia, out of everything that he's talking about, he's saying that the only thing he could find on the scene with the expert specialist was the bullet,
Projectile.
not a cartridge itself. So that means the theory of a revolver is back again. So you see now how this thing is going. So the state has been basically bleeding. I think no matter how much they try to fight, they still need to answer those things. They still need to bring this case back. So basically, whatever that you are hearing, the blabbing and whatnot, it seems as if the defense with De Novo is more on pointing the loopholes, and more so attorney one, advocate number two, which is Nissi, and Khumalo. Those people, what they are doing, if it's a follow-up question, they don't have much, you know?
Yes, they don't.
Ramusibe, they trust him. He understands the issues of dealing with what is happening when it comes to criminal issues.
Yes.
And then they just come to put a nail in whatever that he was doing, confirming basically. Nothing much. Most of the questions that Nissi has been asking are based on what has been asked by Ramusibe.
Yes.
There you can literally see the relationship of working together. And all these people that they've brought, from the witnesses that were in the house up to now, those ones that Balo is bringing now, they seem, I would say, more weaker. Because they are actually creating a certain theory than actually debunking it. They are saying, one, there was no bullet. Because the first guys that came, Tetwa and the rest, they didn't find that.
They didn't find it.
And then Musia did not find it. He found one, and then the following day had to find another one. And with that, the cartridge was not there, which then goes back to that theory of a revolver. And the questions they were asking, any gun with a wheel, what do you think that gun is? Musia obviously answers simple, because there's nothing to hide it. It's a revolver. Whether the wheel was in front or the back, it's a revolver. It doesn't matter what you object to, whether it was sitting next to magazine or sitting closer to the mouth of a gun. It's a revolver. You learn today that there's a pistol,
and there's a revolver,
which releases cartridges,
yes.
which is the one that accused number 3 was caught with allegedly. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's it. After many years of looking, they couldn't find bullet number 3, which one could say maybe it left with the body, maybe. There could be a lot of theories, but
That bullet is...
But it was not found. But what is important is not even about bullet, it's about the cartridges, which proves the theory of a revolver. Because after looking with expert specialists that came with whatever that they came with, their equipment, special equipment that can detect iron, still they could not find the cartridge.
No, they could not.
There you go. That's why you need a short adjournment that never comes back.
What do you think was happening there? What do you think they're talking about?
What do you think is happening? What do you think is... There is a possibility that Musia might be sick or something, because it's not working. It is not working.
Have you covered everything?
Done.
Okay. Musia said that he packaged the various swabs separately. And Baloyi asked, is that how they were sent to the lab? And Musia said yes, but they were sent in one bag. Baloyi told Musia to read exhibits, and Baloyi followed up with a question. So all the swabs you took were placed in one forensic bag, and Musia said they were placed inside one bag. Exhibits collected during the night, the bullet jacket and the hat were packaged during the night. So Baloyi asked, how were they packaged and how were they marked? And Musia said a bullet jacket was placed inside a forensic bag and the hat inside a brown envelope and placed inside the main bag. Baloyi then asked, but placed in individually first? And Musia said yes. Then Musia went through all the pictures on the photo album. Mshololo stood to ask what picture he was referring to. So it turns out it is the entire photo album of Colonel, or was it Warrant Mhlahlo, who is a Colonel or what, Mhlahlo, the one that the other photographer. So regarding the bullet hole, Baloyi asked, what did you and your team do regarding the bullet hole? What did the investigation further entail? And Musia said, we noticed that the bullet did not penetrate the door, and we traced and searched on the kitchen top, and it is where we found the bullet projectile. That's very interesting. So it didn't go outside, it bounced back in the house, according to how he's putting it. Because they found the projectile on the kitchen.
Didn't he say he was talking about it being shot outside, coming inside?
Oh, yes. Outside, coming inside. But could that be the case, though, with how the description of the people that were in the house are describing it? So who could have shot from the outside?
That's another theory that you have to look at.
This is a mess now. Like, this is a mess. The more we unpack, the more questions we have.
Because
now,
there was a hole in the door.
Yes,
We agree to that.
At the end of the testimony, he did say that there was a hole in the door. In fact, he was distracted. He was looking at that hole for a very long time. So Baloyi asked, now who was present when this projectile was found? And Musia said it was Colonel Mhlahlo and Colonel Matiza from Crime Scene Management and Captain Matebula from LCRC office and the captain from Vosloorus, Captain Zwane. Again, no mention of Ntabiseng in that kitchen incident. She's not there, according to Musia. Musia didn't see her. Okay, Musia, no mention of Ntabiseng coming to the kitchen to collect water. So, yeah, Shubil. Musia went through an exhibit of 2 glass jars and a bullet hole. The projectile was found behind 2 jars. Okay, so another question I have, Mr. Anonymous, and to you guys. Shouldn't those jars have been broken or something? Shouldn't they have had damage?
Here's the theory. If you miss them, you hit a bit ahead of them, maybe at the top, and then it falls down because it couldn't penetrate the wall. That's another theory behind it.
So it was found after the jars were removed. Okay? Yeah. So Musia went through an exhibit of the bullet hole in the kitchen tile floor and also kind of sort of corroborating, I don't know how to put it, but remember Miss Mapopola said that her ankle, something bullet hit the tile. Watini. Perhaps this is the bullet that Musia may have found. Perhaps, allegedly.
Which one?
Right now we're not sure.
Which one is that?
The one that he says he found on the tiled floor in the kitchen.
Yeah, but that one, there is nothing you can do about it. If there is a hole, like the same one as the door one, what can you do? If there is a hole of some sort, then there is a hole, and if there were a piece of that ballistic, there's nothing you can do.
Then Musia said then they were done with the forensic exhibit investigation and they moved for investigation of fingerprints. He took control of the exhibit and Baloyi asked what happened with the fingerprint investigation. Musia says Colonel Mhlahlo was responsible for the fingerprint investigation. How? But didn't he say that he was in control? How Musia wakudida namhlanje ngithi how? Kanti you said you took control. Manje it's mhlahlo now. So he says that they managed to find some prints from the door, and he says that he wasn't sure which bedroom was that, but he managed to find some fingerprints on the bedroom door, which was facing the kitchen. Now I'm struggling to process this kitchen door, this door facing the kitchen. Which bedroom is it? Is it the one Tumelo ran into, or is it the one Kelly ran into?
The one Kelly ran into.
You think it's the one Kelly ran into, ne? Then Musia stated that Musia did not state whose fingerprints were found there. And I also found it very interesting that only fingerprints that he says he took are from the one bedroom door. I mean, how about everywhere else? That was very interesting for me.
I was claiming that it was those who work with forensic, they could tell us maybe if then people have been using that, yes, there's a potential of contaminating the handle. But isn't it whatever that you guys use, not able to classify, to say, okay, these are probably Tumelo's fingerprints and whatnot?
He needed to take them to be able to extract them if it was a need for them to be extracted.
Yes.
But I don't know how in South Africa forensic works. But I then said, what happened after the fingerprint investigation? And Musia said that he thinks that we were now done with the investigation, and he guesses that they departed from the crime scene after 2:00 in the afternoon, and they went straight to the office. He went straight to the office in Springs. Since it was in the afternoon, he said, I placed all my exhibits inside my lockable safe in my office because the exhibit clerk was no longer there. So this is very interesting. They have safes where they can put the exhibits in if the clerk who has to take them in is not available. And they asked, and the following day, Baloyi asked, just before you proceed, besides yourself, is there any other person who's got access to this lockable safe?
Yeah.
And Musia said no, except the exhibit clerk. So, and in the morning of the 28th of October 2014, at about 8:30 in the morning, he says he booked all the exhibits in SAP 459 with reference 311/10 of 2014. Baloyi asked him to place the exhibits except for SAP 459, and all of them were booked by him, he said. So Musia said that he won't be able to explain the evidence swabs. He must thoroughly check with which one is which.
Okay.
Which is kind of what caught up with him and caused that adjournment. He couldn't define the swabs. Just before the adjournment, he couldn't define those swabs. What was happening there? So after 9 years, he can't. So he booked all the exhibits and for processing, and the date for booking was 2014 October the 30th at 8:00 in the morning. So he says the reason for exposing the exhibit was for biology and ballistic. So other things that I managed to cover is that Musia drafted a letter on the 30th of October 2014, and the letter was sent to the Forensic Science Laboratory. Baloyi asked who was copied, and Musia said the unit commander for Vosloorus detectives. Now, the problem here is that Musia didn't mention the name of this person. Why?
On that letter?
Yeah, on that letter. He didn't mention this person. And case 636 of 2014. So what is happening here now is that they quoted his letter that he wrote, and he says that he reported at Springs and received a request to attend the scene of crime, and on the 27th of October 2014 at 0020, this is 20 minutes past midnight a.m., Constable Musia arrived at the scene of a crime where an alleged shooting incident took place and conducted an investigation through photograph forensic investigation and marked it as follows. Exhibit 1 indicated a bullet jacket from the kitchen floor And Baloyi wanted him to read from the paragraph where it says, and I quote, "Please do the following investigation. The bullet exhibits to be examined for IBS and to be kept for later comparisons." So Baloyi asked, "Can you explain what is IBIS just in brief?" And Musia said, "No, I cannot be able to explain it." Baloyi asked, "What is the nature of the investigation that is required?" And he said it's to determine the type of firearm, a bullet which was used. And Baloyi asked this, were the ballistic C exhibits for ballistic examination? And Musia said, "That's correct, my lord." Now, what is interesting about all of these bullet projectiles or bullets that Musia collected, nowhere where it's mentioned that there's also the one that ended Senzo's life. It's not there. So that's what I found interesting.
Maybe it's still gonna come. You don't know, man. This court, everything just mushrooms. It just comes and out of nowhere.
So fingerprint swabs to be examined for any possible DNA and to be kept for later comparison. So they have kept the fingerprint and the swabs to be examined for any possible DNA and to be kept for later comparison. Now, this is what caught my attention. For later comparison, could the later be now?
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that they were waiting for this time, which we don't know if they have something to compare with. That's what they have not proved.
So he says that he booked the evidence on the 30th of October 2014. That's when he took it to the forensic lab. So now cross-examination began after tea with Sipho Ramosepele for accused 1 and 2. So Ramosepele started off by asking, "What is your current title?" And Musia said, "Commander at the Standerton Service Point." And Ramosepele asked, on the 26th of October 2014, "You were a sergeant attached to the Springs LCRC." And Musia said, "No, I was a constable." Ramosepele asked, "Would you agree that you are a veteran in the SAPS with 17 years experience?" And Musia said, "It's true, my lord. Before you became a commander, you were a field crime scene detective or investigator, correct?" And Musia said, "Yes." And Ramosepele asked, "What sort of duties did you perform?" And Musia said, "I can explain my functions in English. My duties were to obtain the optimization for all crime scene reported and processing crime scenes, the gathering of physical evidence through fingerprint, related techniques, and the collection, packaging, processing, and fast-tracking of exhibits from crime scene to forensic science laboratory, and the giving of evidence in court." Ramosepele asked, "Did you have any specialized training to perform your duties as a crime scene investigator?" And Musia said, "Advanced crime scene course." And Ramosepele asked, "Is it with the SAPS?" And Musia said, "Yes, it is." And Musia said that there are many crime scenes that he has attended, from house breakings and other cases like malicious damage to property, business and house robberies, and murders and heists. So Ramosepele asked, "How many shooting crime scenes have you attended?" And Musia said, "There are many." Ramosepele said, "How many courts have you testified in?" And Musia said, "High Court, 2 occasions." And he's saying that this one is his second time. And magistrate court, there are many cases. But I'm nervous.
Okay.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Okay, I'm nervous. I hope he has improved. It's been 9 years. And the other case, Musia says it was double murder. So I was under the impression that he's mentioning the de novo appearance, but it seems like no. He has another case somewhere else that he's attending to with the High Court, and it's a double murder, as well as the Senzo Meyiwa case. So Musia says that he got a call. They reported a house robbery, and they explained that someone was shot inside of that house. So Ramosepele asked, "Who did you receive a call from?" And Musia said, "From Brigadier Ndlovu." Ramosepele asked, you said you received that call at about 23:45. And Musia said, it is so, my lord. And what time did you arrive at the crime scene? And Musia said, at about 20 minutes past 12.
Yes.
That's 20 minutes after midnight. And Ramosepele asked, who was at the crime scene when you arrived? And Musia said, if uniformed police detectives from Vosloorus, and also found Brigadier Ndlovu. Musia could not remember how many police officers were in uniform. And Ramosepele asked, two sergeants, Matebula and Mthethwa, testified that they were the first responders to the scene with two student constables. They went to the scene, then to the hospital, then back to the scene. They said they returned to the scene with Khumalo, and they found the bullet fragment on the floor and phoned CSC for the photographer and the detective that they were in charge of the scene until the arrival of Captain Zwane. Soon after some time, then you arrived and they referred to you as Musia, the photographer. They said Captain Zwane pointed out the exhibits to you and showed you the scene. And at some stage later, task team police arrived and Mthethwa noticed Brigadier Ndlovu. The duty officer from the task team was not Brigadier Ndlovu, it was Captain Matebula, who is now deceased. So one has to wonder, why has Musia been singing the songs of Brigadier Ndlovu all of this time? It's been Brigadier Ndlovu, Brigadier Ndlovu, Brigadier. So Ramosepele brought up Captain Matebula, who Musia was not mentioning that much before. Who is the captain? He's captain, by the way. Who called him? He said he was called by Brigadier Ndlovu.
Yes. Yes.
He was not called by Brigadier Ndlovu, he was called by Captain Matebula. He later on confirmed that with cross-examination at a later stage when Ramosepele was now enforcing it, that actually we were not called by Brigadier Ndlovu, we were called by Captain Matebula. Ramosepele then said, what do you think could be the reason why Musia only mentions Brigadier Ndlovu, Brigadier Ndlovu, Brigadier? Why?
Look, you don't speak ill of people who are normal.
Not speaking ill.
I would like to say why. And if I'm going to say why, then I'm going to have to think something else and maybe lie there. But, I mean...
Okay, let's let it go.
Yeah.
Ramosepele then said, where was Zandi, Kelly, Khumalo, and Tumelo Madlala when you arrived at the house? And Musia said they were at the scene. Ramosepele then asked, which part of the house were they in? And Musia said, some outside, some inside, on the couch, being interviewed. And Ramosepele asked, would I be correct to say you were the first crime scene investigator to arrive on the scene that morning? Because it was already the 27th of October 2014. And Musia said yes. Ramosepele asked, what did you first observe when you got to the crime scene? And Musia said, walking stick, a bullet hole on the tile, and a bullet fragment, a hat, a bullet hole at the back of the kitchen door, and the blood on the floor near the couch and the TV stand. So Ramosepele asked, did you document all your observations? And Musia said yes, he wrote them down and took photographs of what he observed. Ramosepele asked, where did you write it down? And Musia said, in the crime scene report.
Yes.
Ramosepele asked, how many photos did you take yourself? Not those of Colonel Mhlahlo. And Musia said 8 photos. Colonel Mhlahlo took up to 130 pictures.
Thank you, Simpiwe Ayanda.
130 pictures, and Musia only took 8.
Okay.
Ramosepele asked, is there any reason you only took 8 pictures? And Musia said, I had a challenge. My camera was not taking good quality pictures.
So everything that could have went wrong on that day, it went wrong, I think.
Yay! Yeah, when I listened to it, I was very troubled in my spirit. I'm like, what? So because you were not getting good quality pictures, you just decided, let me not do it. Colonel Mhlahlo arrived way later than Musia. Way later, guys. The items you mentioned were shown by the first SAPS responders, and Musia said, yes. With your trained eye, did you process the scene again to see if they missed anything? And Musia, yes, I did. Ramasipele asked, where and what exactly were you looking for? And Musia said, I examined the kitchen, sitting room, and in search of cartridges, cases, or if I could retrieve a bullet. And Ramasipele asked, as you looked for the bullet projectile, where did you look? Musia said, I checked on the floor where I noticed the bullet hole.
Yeah.
And by the kitchen door, but realized that the bullet didn't go through. I looked by the door and didn't find it. He says that he noticed the bullet hole by the kitchen door, but realized that the bullet didn't go through. He said, I looked by the door and I didn't find it.
Yeah.
Musia said that when he is doing his duties, he measures the distance of the exhibit and a certain point. So he did not measure the dimensions of that kitchen. It was not of his interest at the time. He only measured the distance of the exhibit. Musia said that he used his eyes to look at the kitchen top and did not remove the 2 glass jars of baby formula that was there. He also looked only with his eyes by the fridge. He believed that the bullet was behind the door. He says his focus was that the bullet must be behind the door. A whole forensic. What? You know, I watch those documentaries, the crime. It's the ID channel or what? Hi, nah, sure. I'm not sure about our forensic. I'm not sure. It's not make sure. Like, what? Okay, Ramasipele then said, in that scenario, you couldn't rule out the possibility that the bullet ricocheted. He didn't think about that. A whole forensic. What? Couldn't think that the bullet can go in a certain other direction and it can, he didn't consider that. He just wanted it close to the door, behind the door. Guys. Then Musia said, that's correct. With a brown chest. Hey, hujwalo. He's killing me. He's killing me. And then Ramasipele then said, did you also search for the bullet projectile shell casings on the other side of the kitchen sink? And Musia said, I used my eyes to observe the area. I also had in my mind that the task team will arrive and assist me in processing the crime scene. So as soon as you heard that the task team is coming, you just relaxed, Mtagabao. You just chilled. You're like, they're coming. They're going to assist. What was happening in that house? Can someone help me understand? Because no. Then Musia said that the reason they called the task team is for them to ensure that the crime scene is properly investigated. Provincial team is the one that helps them with specialized equipment to do proper investigations. And then Ramasipele said, Mr. Musia, next time I ask you, you answer a direct question directly. You went off tangent. I didn't want to be rude to you. I'm not that lawyer, but next time, answer a direct question directly, please. And the judge said, sorry, counsel, what's wrong with the response? He did not answer the question, in my opinion. In my opinion, I heard it. He didn't answer the question. Then Ramasipili said, Your Worship, he went off on the story. He is now anticipating my cross-examination. And the judge is like, yeah, so what? And Ramasipili was like, I'll come to that aspect, my lord. And the judge said, no, you can't say that he was anticipating. You asked him, what did he do? And he told you what he did by using the naked eye. And he also said that they were waiting for the task team to come and see that the task team is properly investigated. And he also says that the task team has instrumentation which enables them to be thorough with what's wrong with that answer. And Ramasipili very calmly, he said, it's very wrong, my lord. I'll tell the court why. By then, he has not even phoned Mathebula to ask for the task team to, and then the judge interrupted by saying, no. We are talking about Mathebula. I'm talking about his response to your question, not Mathebula. And Ramasipila was like, yes, but the task team was only activated once he had called Mathebula, my lord. Judge Ratase, he says he was there when the provincial task team, when it arrived. Where were you, say? Asking Musia. And Musia responded, I was already there, back from attending 2 crime scenes. And the judge was like, so he was there. And Ramasipili said, that is not in dispute, my lord. And the judge said, okay, proceed, sir. So all of this, guys, emanated from a simple question that Musia honestly did not answer. And let me remind you what that question is. Did you, Mr. Musia, by yourself, before the tax team arrived, also search for the bullet projectiles, shell casings on the other side of the kitchen sink? That was the question. Before the task team came. Ramasipili is not at the task team arriving yet. He's still asking him.
I don't know how this judge expects the defense to give people a chance to answer when he hardly give them a chance to finish whatever that they're submitting, even when there is these conflicts and whatnot. He disturbs them. He speaks while they're speaking.
Oh my God.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
And Ramasipili is so unproblematic.
No.
Not even Baloyi could help you judge object. Ramasipili is so unproblematic. This is becoming embarrassing now. Wow. This is becoming embarrassing. All you needed to tell him was to answer the question. That's all.
Simple as that.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
I was very shocked. It came out of nowhere. I'm like, Ramasipili's questions are not that difficult to process, right? They're very direct. And if he chooses to expand, he can expand, as long as he answered the question. The problem here is that Musia didn't answer the question. Did he or did he not look for other things like shell casings on the kitchen sink specifically? Did he even look at the kitchen sink before the task team arrived?
Naked eyes.
Ramasipili then continued asking and said, having searched the kitchen top with your naked eye, did you find any bullet projectiles? And Musia said, I did apply my sight over the tops of the cabinet sink, and the only bullet fragment I found was on the floor. Ramasipili asked, I know you are not a ballistic expert, but did you see any bullet holes except for the one you marked with an arrow sticker, or the one on the floor or the tile?
Yeah.
Did you see any other damage that will ensure that there was a third shot that was fired in the confines of that kitchen? And Musia said, no, there isn't any except for the 2. Only found 2.
Yeah.
So Ramasipili asked, once you've processed and you are satisfied with the scene, you now call Captain Mathebula. He then advises you to wait for the task team to help you with the processing of the scene. Musia says, I called Captain Matebula after I found the exhibits of the incident. I saw that it was a crime scene that needed more attendance. We have a standard operating procedure that instructs us as to those types of crime scenes we need to call the task team. So this means Captain Matebula is actually the one who called Brigadier Ndlovu. So all along, Musia has been Brigadier Ndlovu. Musia then said, it is so. Ramusipili then said, testimony also is the victim or the deceased, Senzo Meyiwa, was taken through the kitchen door by those who helped him out to take him to his BMW X6 that was parked outside where the house is lettered as Spaza. Do you know of such evidence? And Musia says, by using the kitchen door, in his view, he believes that he exited the kitchen door when they were lifting him.
Okay.
Again, he's not answering the question. But Ramasipeli navigated. He said, did you see any blood droplets by the kitchen door or just outside on that step? There's a step apparently there by the kitchen door. Any blood spots at all? And Musia says, no, I did not see blood there. So he says he noticed no blood spots anywhere else except for the couch by the TV stand. Regarding his move from the scene of the incident to attend to other cases at Vosloorus and Zonke Zizwe, Ramusipili asked, who did you hand over the crime scene to when you responded to the other calls? And Musia said to Brigadier Ndlovu, even though there were members of his team at the scene, he reported to him. Ramasipili asked, and it was at 1:30 when you left the scene. And Musia said, I made a mistake yesterday when I said I left the scene at 1:40. In my notes, it is recorded as 2:40 in the morning. So that's when he left. He came back at around 6 o'clock in the morning, and he said he waited for the arrival of the task team before he left. So according to testimony on record, there was a scuffle between people in the house, and the two people who entered the house where the scuffle took place between the alleged intruders and Khumalo, Senzo Meyiwa, Zandile Khumalo, Kelly Khumalo, Tumelo Madlala. In that context, what is gunshot residue? And Musia said, I know it can be answered by ballistics fully, or ballistic experts fully, but I can also try to answer. It's powder that is inside the cartridge case of the bullet. And after a gunshot, this powder spills, and that's what we trace on the hand. So Ramusipili asked, now that the gunshot residue test would be done to establish how close other people were to the gunshot or if they were there at all. And Musia said that is done under certain circumstances. If there are suspicions that one could have participated in the demise of the person. And Ramusipili asked, if that is so, why would it be done on the victim themselves? And Musia said, I don't remember it being done on the victim unless if it's a self-unaliving case with a firearm, then it would be conducted. Ramasipili asked, in order to eliminate the people in the house, to see if they handled the firearm, a gun residue test would be done on them, right?
Yeah.
Musia said, yes, that is so. But there is a certain period prime residue that would be found on a person, and the presence of it would also be disturbed by the movement of people. So here already we are gathering that they didn't collect the clothes of everyone in the house. So Ramasipili then said, but it would also be on the clothes, right? And Musia said, yes, and yet you didn't collect them.
Yeah, he didn't.
You didn't.
What this is showing is the weakness of this case. This case is so weak. It doesn't even make sense why it made it
to trial.
To trial. It just doesn't make sense.
Ramosipili then said the GSR, which is gun residue test, was never done on the people in the house. Musia said yes, it is so. So we finally have an answer. The people in the house didn't know. Tumelo said he doesn't know what a gun residue test is. He couldn't remember, or he could remember that his hand was not tested or it was tested. Now we know it was never done. By Musia, at least. Maybe the ballistic experts did it. So we will find out if and when they are called. And Musia said that he never did a test on the cans and the crutches either, because it belonged to one of the people in the house. Musia said that when they left the scene, he left what he had found, which was the hat and the bullet jacket. Ramasipili then asked, when you went to attend the other crime scenes, where were these exhibits? And Musia said yes, he left with them in the car to attend to other crime scenes. And where were they stored in the car? And Musia said that he stored them in the boot inside of a forensic bag. Now you come and restart the process with Colonel Mhlahlo. And Musia said that is so. Ramasipili reminded Musia to tell him whenever he needs a comfort break. I think he could already see that he wasn't quite okay. But Musia insisted that he can continue, he can proceed. So Ramasipili said they reprocessed the kitchen again, and then they locate a bullet projectile. Was there any special equipment used to discover the projectile on the kitchen top unit? And Musia said that they were using their eyes and hands. Note this because it changes later with Nissi's cross-examination.
Okay.
It changes. He says now they were using their eyes and their hands. Ramasipili then asked, who exactly, you or Colonel Mhlahlo? And Musia said it was Colonel Mhlahlo. And Ramasipili asked, the nature of those glass jars is that they are transparent and they store grains or legumes or cereal. Where was the location of the projectile that you found? And Musia said that it was found close to the wall behind the glass jars.
Yeah.
So maybe your theory of it could have hit the wall above the jars. Then, I'm still. No broken. No breaking. Hi, Mteto said, and Matebula considered that they also looked.
To clear that, the question should have maybe emanated from that to say, was there anything broken? Did it hit the wall? Was there a hole in the wall?
Was there a hole in the wall?
Where you find the bullet? Was there something like that?
Because think about it, guys. If those glass jars didn't break, then the theory of cleaning up is coming back again.
How so?
Because it means they were placed. Don't
The
you
cleaning
think
up
they were
theory,
placed?
where does it fit?
Like rearrangement of items in the house. That's what I'm trying to say.
You mean they like sort of planted evidence?
I'm not saying they planted evidence.
Not
per
saying
se,
they are, but
those jars in particular, maybe they were placed after the shooting happened, in my opinion, or in a speculative mind of mine.
or maybe they were there. They just didn't move them. I don't think it
They
would.
didn't break. The
They
bullet
just
didn't.
no.
didn't-
If there's no hole, there's nothing. There's no something. Maybe they just the
Put
bullet
it-
had to be hidden
placed.
by something, you know. If there was planting, like also so that they say no, the reason why they couldn't find it, maybe it's because
It's
it was
by
hidden.
the
Yes.
glass jars.
Do you understand?
Hi, wishy. Well, it was found close to the wall behind the glass jars, and Mteto and Matebula conceded that they also looked and used their naked eyes and could not see any projectile on the kitchen
Maybe they
counter.
are saying pause until everyone likes the video.
Haibo, guys.
So they are saying pause.
Oh, plus I need the break.
Yeah, drink your arrangement of that whatever that concoction you are drinking there. It makes me sleep though.
Please like the video.
Yeah, please like the video, guys. We are waiting for you. Then we will continue once you have done so. And if you are failing to do so, ask. People should be able to help you.
Yes. What are people saying on the chat?
They are saying, until people have liked, I still see 200. We have 512 people here.
Guys,
so
all 500 of you can press the like button. It will be highly appreciated. Okay.
Into washing.
Just press the like button. Why? How?
Yeah. So today, basically, I won't say that I liked this Musia. And maybe it's because the people that are questioning him, they are laid back.
Yes.
They are not looking to show who's the boss, because that's a problem. Once you start showing these people who's the boss, they don't respond well. So it's a good thing. Even see Ramosipe saying it that I'm not that rude. I don't think I'm rude. I'm not aggressive. Yeah.
So it was a good thing.
It's a good thing.
He was relaxed.
Yeah.
And we got more out of him because
even
he
though
was relaxed.
After saying that, the judge sort of tries to get into his skin.
Maybe he wanted to make Ramosipili
freak out,
emotional,
yes, imbalance, but the man,
or feel under attack and become defensive, and then started going left, because usually that's what happens in the case of, I would say, mostly women, us. When someone just disrupts you, hey, your whole
we guys were waiting for you guys to like. We see that it's 300 now. We're waiting for you guys to just press that like.
Please
and
press
hit
the
it like you
button,
mean
guys.
it.
Please press it. I work hard, okay? Press that like button, okay? Press it. We're begging for your like. Right. So we'll wait.
All right, continue.
Must I continue now?
Yeah.
An awkward moment of silence.
You know what I know? What I would do, at least if we haven't reached the level that we have, finish your whole thing, and then I will just not allow calls, maybe.
Guys, do you want that just because you don't want to hit the like button? Kanti. Just hit that like button so that we can continue. Kanti.
You know, some people are even calling now.
Kanti, how can you call without pressing the like button? Press the like button first. How? Guys,
Just
so,
continue.
in 2007, Musia was a detective in Tsakani. With working as a detective, he has some knowledge of different types of guns, a revolver, a rifle, a pistol, and Ramasipele asked Tumelo Madlala, said the gun had a wheel and it was an old gun. And Baloyi stood to object and said that he's making a correction. He says that Mr. Madlala said the area around the trigger looked like a wheel, not behind the cartridge as being put. And I'm like, this is so funny. What did Tumelo say? The detective... He said the detective put words in his mouth. He did a whole new other statement. What is going on now? And the police officer wrote the revolver, but that is not what he told the police officer. So does that portion of saying the gun had a wheel remain on the trigger? And I also asked Google. I said, Google, firearm that has a wheel on the trigger. And guess what Google said? Google said at the top, revolver. So I am now convinced it's a revolver, right? So why is this? Like, kwenzakalani, guys? I was expecting him to object and say, no, they made a statement retracting. But no, he says no. He said the wheel is on the trigger, not on the cartridge. And I'm like, Hibana, what's alang? Then Ramasipili said, in your experience, what kind of a firearm has a wheel? And Musia said it, a revolver. Ramasipili asked, then what do we call a gun with a magazine? And Musia said, a pistol. So Musia said a pistol ejects the cartridge case, whereas a revolver would retain the cartridge case because it's on that wheel, right? So Ramasipili then said that projectile was located by Colonel Mhlahlo. Can you tell the caliber of that projectile? If you know, if you don't know, you can say you don't know. Then Musia said, no, I cannot explain it. So the projectile was a copper color. Did they mention the colors of the ammunition that they found with Mr. Mnube's Cleveland case and Alexandra case and all of that? Did they mention the colors?
No.
Okay. So then
I think a person who mentioned a color is Ntabi. So something like
silver.
Silver, yeah.
You wish le? Ramasipili said Mteto and Matebula in their testimony said that they also looked on the counter tables in the kitchen on that night in your evidence in chief. You said the visibility was proper in the house. They also used their naked eyes. They could not see any projectile on the counter table of the kitchen. What is your comment on that? And Musia said, I have no remarks about that. So if I mention the name Colonel Buthelezi, do you know who that person is? And Musia said, yes, I know who it is. Regarding 636 of 10 of 2014, did you have an interaction with her whereby you attended or had a reconstruction of what you processed at the scene? And Musia said, yes, it is so. It was for the first time that I met her when we went for the reconstruction of the scene. The reconstruction took place at Kutwanong Street, house number 13, whatever. It was himself, Colonel Buthelezi, and a member from the National Crime Scene Management, and he forgot the name of that person. There was another man who was with Colonel Buthelezi, and there were only 4 of them. So the reconstruction he did was to find the distance from the neighbor to the kitchen of the crime scene. From the neighbor to the kitchen. Which neighbor?
I think it's Natchez.
And a Nikon camera was used to measure the distance that they needed. That's the only thing he did, and then they requested a statement from him. He cannot remember the year in which they did the reconstruction, but then Ramasipili reminded Musia of the statement written by Ruben Nkosi on the 12th of June 2019. So Musia handed the statement to Buthelezi, and Ruben Nkosi is his colleague at Springs. He is the one who commissioned the statement. So Musia says that he is the one who wrote it and signed it. He wrote it and signed it himself, Musia. That's what he's saying. So Ramasipili read a part of the statement where it says, and I quote, the incident of a murder scene was reported 4 hours late, and the crime scene address was not yet known to me at the time. It was reported to me. Instead, I was told to go to the hospital. All the delays before me reporting the matter to relevant role players might have compromised the murder crime scene. So Ramasipili asked, what do you mean in your own words? You know, Musia said, I mean that every crime scene needs to be attended without wasting time. And taking time before reporting the matter can compromise the crime scene. Ramasipili then asked, if you say it was reported 4 hours late, that means you got the call at 23:45. The incident happened 4 hours before that time, and Musia said, yes, it is so. As a crime scene investigator, urgency is required to attend to the scene as soon as possible so that evidence is preserved, the scene is protected, and contamination is eliminated. Musia said it is so. You will also agree that foot movements and people, unauthorized personnel, including authorized personnel, will contaminate the scene. And Musia said it is so. So it is your duty to regulate the comings and goings of even authorized personnel so that less contamination happens at the scene. And Musia said, correct, that is so. You are right to feel that way, saying Ramasipili, because the evidence has been led that Maggie Piri removed several alcohol containers that were on the scene because she didn't want the police to see that the people that were in the house were drinking alcohol. And furthermore, she cleaned the scene before the police arrived on the 26th of October 2014. Do you have any comments on that? And Musia said that he understands, but he has no mark or remark on that, so he has no comment. Ramusipili concluded the cross-examination. It was now time for Advocate Nissi, and he started off by asking if any specialized task team had specialized equipment to use when they arrived at the crime scene. Musia said they also have it, so they have this equipment. Nissi then said, meaning on that day, the 27th, they had them. Musia said, I believe so. Nissi said, is there a stage where you were in their presence assisting each other with such equipment or where such equipment was used? And Musia said, it is so. Yes. Where were they used? Musia said, UV light sources that we used to capture fingerprints. That's the equipment that was used on that day. I also called them to bring metal detectors to find any cartridges in the house. Nissi asked, did you use those metal detectors? And Musia said, no, they didn't because of the pots that were in the kitchen and other metal objects.
So you called them while knowing that they're not going to work, right? Did you know they're not going to work?
South African police. Couldn't they move the pots? I mean, if you're really looking for something. It's my first time hearing this. Okay, the pots were stagnant there. They couldn't be moved.
Yeah.
So then he asked, when you conducted the search, when you arrived at the scene for the first time, what stopped you from using your hands and also using your eyes in investigating the scene? Musia said that he was disturbed by focusing on the door, thinking that the bullet went through the door. So Nissi asked, so you never entertained the possibility that it could have been somewhere else except from inside the door? And Musia said, it is so, my lord. I gather that I can classify you as a seasoned field investigator. And Musia said it is so. He found one bullet fragment while he processed the crime scene alone. The other one, found on the kitchen top, was found by Mhlahlo the following day. He said that he reported to the task team that there are 2 gunshots. Musia says that he couldn't tell which type of a firearm was used while he was at the scene. And when he couldn't find any cartridges, he deduced that it could have been a firearm that did not eject cartridges. Did you hear that, Mr. Anonymous?
I enjoyed that. That was someone speaking, using his years of
like
experience.
music to my ears.
You know, sometimes, somewhere, somehow, people have got to be honest, and this is good.
This is very good
because now we are getting closer to what we need, and the truth.
Sunday, like we're coming closer and closer to the truth. So Nissi asked, what kind of a firearm would that be? And Musia said it, a revolver. And Nissi concluded his beautiful cross-examination of the witness. And it wasn't that long.
You see what Nissi is doing? Emphasizing. It's simple. I'm still in court. I'm just emphasizing that. I heard you say that the gun could have been
A gun that doesn't release cartridges.
Yes.
Which is
Revolver. And you don't need to say much, after that. If your work is done by the first
NB
lawyer.
Shalala. NB.
Just
Shalala.
unless you're gonna come with a different angle of something of some sort.
Find something else.
Or adding to that.
This one, leave it alone.
And it mustn't be just finding something else. Just add to that. Build your guy's story. It's all of you stories, not one person. All of you. It should have all your names. And that's it.
And at this point, since she got the break, it wouldn't help to ask the other three what they left out.
What do you think you guys is? What did you leave out? Let me deal with that.
And if they say nothing, then you can sit this one out, I believe.
Because I see many people here on the what do we call the comment. Some of them are saying, "Hey, Mshololo is coming. You saw what Mshololo did with." But what did we get from Sia when that was the case?
We got nothing.
Nothing.
We got, "Hey, my Lord, I'm in pain. Oh, my Lord, I don't feel well. Oh, That's what we got when Mshololo went so hard. It was nice and entertaining, but we didn't get the information from him. So now we got it, and it's thanks to these advocates that are using a different approach. Okay? So I'm happy. So far, so good. Advocate Zithulele Khumalo took over, and Musia says that he took 12 swabs. And Khumalo asked, "Did you take the swabs on all the doors?" And Musia said, "No, I left out the kitchen door as well as the sitting room door." And they asked, do you see bedroom door opposite the bathroom door? Did you take the swabs at that door? So there's a bedroom door that's opposite the bathroom door. Then Musia said, no, he did not. Why not? And Musia said, because in the kitchen, I didn't have the patience to swab the kitchen because people were coming in and going out. After the time I got to this report, they had a while touching the door, but they didn't ask about the kitchen door. They asked about the bedroom door, the other one. So according to the information, Kelly Khumalo entered bedroom 1. And suspect, now this is Musia now, was trying to explain his exhibit.
You see, that's what I don't like about... By the way, I'm just going to answer this. Why was Baloyi saying there is no link as yet? So what is happening is a word of mouth. And obviously it can do a lot of damage. So far, there's no link. That's what, and those who are saying that, hey, we must respect Advocate Mshololo. No, we respect all of them, and we criticize all of them. And here, we are not a fan of any of those people. This is not a fan page for those people.
No, it's not.
Here, we are going to tell you,
and it's
our opinion. We are going to tell you that this is what we feel, because we are all we are after is the truth that should come out of what happened to Senzo. I think that's what people should understand. We're not fans of these people. We're not followers. We're not
celebrity figures of
no. When you need your flowers,
South Africans, haven't you learned though?
We give your flowers when you deserve them, and we have
praised Mshololo when she's done a good job.
So this is not.
I want to take this moment. Why do people like to do that? Why do people like to make public figures gods?
I don't know, and it doesn't actually please me, because I don't take pictures. I hardly have any celebrities' pictures.
I don't understand that from us as a nation, to such an extent that you can't even reprimand something, when it doesn't look good, it doesn't feel good, it's not good, you can't say anything because there's a mob of people who think that their favorite person is beyond reproach or is beyond criticism. And it's not criticism that bashes them. Actually, in life, you need criticism so that you can improve. That's why even on this channel, we don't block anybody.
No, we don't.
You can say whatever you want. If it's good criticism, I take it and I use it. But if it's not, I leave it alone and I don't fight back. Do you understand?
So we are not here to create celebrities.
No, guys.
We stopped reviewing in fact, the reason why we stopped reviewing those TV realities because people were expecting to be up in people's
and praise
ass somewhere.
Yes.
No, we don't have that thing.
They want you to praise a person because they're on TV. No, guys, no. Let's grow up. The reason why today even we're in this mess with the Senzo Meyiwa case is because you couldn't hold certain people accountable. All these years. You're watching the Meyiwa family struggle, and it was none of your business as long as your favorite person is doing well. Your favorite public figure was
double
doing
standards.
well.
Double
you were calling
standards.
her strong. You were calling her all of these things, and not having a problem with the fact that she cannot speak as to what happened to the father of her child. It didn't bother you guys.
So if we are going to start now creating another celeb,
No, we're not doing that.
Here we are
Advocate
here
Mshorolo
to say
is good, but she has her moments, just like everybody else.
Yes.
Just like Judge Ratam Khwatleng. Everyone, no one
why
is
don't
perfect.
you say why are you criticizing the judge?
Why?
Why don't you come and say that?
Why are you not saying that? And these people have gotten to the spots that they've gotten to in their professions because they can take criticism. It has helped them grow. It has. That's why they are where they are today. If you can't take criticism,
go where you are going to find people. I'm sure there's
life
already
is going to be difficult for
group
you.
Group so and so. Go there. You'll find people doing that.
So now that I'm done preaching, let's continue, guys. I know. According to the information, Kelly Khumalo entered bedroom 1. Okay, I've already covered that. In the second door opposite the bathroom, there isn't any information that he got from that room. This is Musia now. First bedroom is the one that is opposite the kitchen door. Bedroom 2 is the toilet door. Musia says that it was wrongly marked on his exhibit. Then he said he's getting confused. And Khumalo asked if he's tired. And the judge asked what was confusing him. And he said that he's getting confused of the swabs, sequence of the swabs. Okay. I could see Advocate Mshorolo bursting in laughter. And she was shaking her head. It was so hilarious. It's like she expected It's like she knew it was coming. She knew that it is coming. Advocate Baloyi asked that there is something that they needed to discuss with the judge in his chambers. Then there was a 5-minute adjournment, and the recording never came back.
Did it become 5 minutes?
So the trial is postponed until tomorrow.
My lord, I think I should take this time to...
I went at that part when he said, I'm getting confused. I'm like...
my lord, I think I should take this time by leave of the court to address the court in chambers, if it is possible, my lord. I like the freestyling. The freestyling is good because at the right time you stand up, at the right time you rescue the situation. But if you ask me, whether you postpone until infinite, we still have not found anything tangible.
No.
As I said last time,
it's a wrap.
Last time there were 2 guys and they were both dark. And if you watch on television, accused number 1 and accused number 2, they are dark, and the other one is darker than the other.
Yes.
Well, we agree with that.
Yes.
But then the question, how then do you make them have dreads if they've never had one? And then the story changes, like, oh no.
And remember,
accused
on the
number
ID kit,
3.
both of them had dreads on the ID kit. But even the one with the hoodie, there were dreads somewhere there.
So now you cannot put them in the scene because one needs to have dreads. And then you go say, okay, here's the reserve sitting, accused number 3. Come on, we need you now. But the problem, accused number 2 is light in complexion. Accused number 3 has dreads. Yes, he had dreads. And accused number 3 was caught with
half of the time.
Yes.
And some people are saying they were up to here. Some are saying that the intruders one were up to here. And someone testified that they were actually longer, and it would explain why he braided them.
Now, okay, you got your threats now from the sketch.
Yes.
But then you need a gun. So this becomes what? Accused number 1, right?
Yes.
Because that's the one that got in. The first one who had threats is the one that came in, the first one, right? Yes. So now that becomes your number 1.
Yes.
So now you need to put a gun in his hand.
Yes.
Oh, okay. There is actually a case of Cleveland and Alexandra. Let me bring that one. But then the problem, you've already written some of these things as Revolver.
There are no cartridges.
The explanation of the eyewitnesses, people who were there, Revolver. They are not saying Revolver per se, but they are saying it had a wheel.
Had a wheel.
And how do you then implement a wheel in that whole normal pistol? Now you start bringing all these things, and then on top of that, the bullets that were found there, lying there was no cartridge. How do you also change now? So basically, there's nothing. You bring people to testify, people who arrested this guy on a case, a separate case. They come and testify. And they testify as if they arrested this guy for this case. Well, we accept that. But now you have to link it. Now, how do you link it when Musia comes and say, actually, I thought it was a revolver because I couldn't find cartridges, and they were never found.
And it's true. How was he supposed to
How was he
that
supposed
it was
to?
some other firearm when he couldn't find cartridges?
Do you understand? Now you
Or gun.
Now you must get confused and you must stand up and address the judge and never come back. Maybe come back when you Maybe when you come back, there's gonna be someone who's gonna say, actually I got them and I put them on my shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
I just maybe you never know. This case has a lot of surprises.
The expert can come and say something different to what Musia is saying. Who
But
knows?
all that we know so far is that it just deviates. No matter how much, no matter the cell phone and everything that you have brought into us, the aspects of who can actually draw how, who called who, with no conversation, it just goes left. You come with 2 SMSs.
No conversations,
Yeah.
but
You
they're
come-
only linking.
You come with two. We come with 2 SMSs that are saying
I'm
I'm outside, and then and it doesn't make sense. Then Ngaja boy comes and say we chased that thing, that whatever that was pointed, there was nothing there. And then the police also come and say actually there was nothing. You know?
Ntabiseng comes and says, I saw something silvanyana looking like it.
Do you understand?
And then I told them, is this what you are not looking for?
And then Khumalo comes with the head,
Komba.
holding it like a
head.
baby, and say, yeah.
Yeah, the intruder was wearing this hat.
And-
Guys, I get.
Was it who was Richard Mteto, the police that was Richard Mteto?
Matebula.
He comes and say no, but the problem is that if that thing it was not shown to me, I would have cordoned the area off. But the problem is it was shown, like basically it's a wish.
Musia and I want to make pitizela. Musia is a forensic what?
Hey,
He has
the
to
pitizela.
work. People are coming in, going in, out of the house.
Such that he couldn't even take the swipe on the door that the alleged intruders came on.
Wow.
A copper versus safe. Yes, there's a lot of things that are not making sense.
Wow. It's
Mapopola says there were 3. Tabiseng says there were 3, but they were
but
not.
Yena, he had
in,
the ones that were loud. The ones that were the second
other one
and
was
the third one
closer. Sounded.
was closer. So does that mean that there was some shooting outside? What is happening?
But well,
What is happening? What is happening? There's a lot going on.
what
with
needs
this
to
case.
happen is that you need to put the guy with threats inside the house.
Yes.
And after what you have done, you said 2 people. 2 people. How do you put that guy inside?
And then you still have to explain why the other 3 are on trial.
Do you understand?
Why are they there?
Do you understand?
Where are you placing them?
Because number 4, here most of you are saying, oh, number 4 is still not touched. He's a reserve. It's coming, man. number for so long, number 3 was chilling like this.
Yes, he was chilling. In fact, he was laughing
know?
when they started pointing him. The police detectives from the Alexandra and Cleveland cases, they were pointing him and he was laughing. And it was like, yo, it's my turn.
It's a reserve.
Number 4.
It's like we have a bench. We have a bench of people that we need to pick and choose from. When the narrative does not suit that one, oh, okay, here comes number 4.
As fucking Lorna.
Yeah, number 4 is still coming, and plus number 4 has got hair. You know?
A lot of it.
It's a lot of hair. You know, there's a lot of things you can say. Do you understand? And who's this? Tumi comes and pointed people.
I'm sure.
And then that Shoness now is that Shoness now is coming back to bite them, because now they have to remove one between the two to cater for number 3. And number 3 was never explained. It was never described as a person who's light and what. So
That's the adjournment.
Basically,
So tomorrow what happens?
that is the
But
adjournment.
it's supposed to be Khumalo continuing with his cross-examination, and then Advocate Mshololo will continue and also cross-examine. That's what's supposed to happen. But we are expecting anything. It's Friday, remember?
I still maintain that the junior, whoever that junior was, about 375, that junior had a point.
And I've heard a rumor. It's a rumor, guys. I don't know. I haven't thoroughly checked it through. But 375 apparently has always been. It's just that it was squashed, allegedly, from the 2014 situation. Was it 2015? It gave birth, was given birth on 2015.
No, do not confuse this. 3, this case that is currently ongoing
636.
is the original case
Yes.
that was created.
Yes.
Because then some certain whatever allegedly mouse stole something, as Tifo would say, and
Yes,
then
there was some
the most
stealing of
important statement
statements.
was taken, and then 375 was born because 636 was contaminated, and then 375 was born. But what 375 did is what the original 636 was.
Oh, before it got tempered.
Do you understand?
All right.
So Joyce went with 375 from what 636.
So she
That's
dissociated
that's my
herself.
understanding.
She
So
dissociated herself and she said, "I'm out of here."
so that's basically how these things work. So guys, you can call now. As you like the video, guys, let's put it to 400. You can call.
How
Which
many
wish?
likes do we have?
We have 300.
Guys, we're still stuck at 300. Let's close the lines. Let's just close this whole show. What are we doing? Vele, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? And like her.
No. Someone said maybe it's people who don't like us, but for our people who are loyal, who come here,
okay, let's
open the lines and let's continue. And we have people that watch in the morning who like, hey, we're on 400 by the way now. Yeah, let us take calls, guys. Here's the first one. I don't know what happened. Why is this tone coming back? Zanzi, hello. Ah, man. Why is this tone coming back? Let me see. Zanzi, hello.
I'm Zanzi.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, and you, Mr. Anon?
We're good, sir.
Yes. I just want to bring some few points here.
Okay.
The state case relied on 3 pillars.
Mm-hmm.
And those pillars were 1, the gun, 2, the head, number 3, the fingerprint.
Yes.
One of the pillars, which is the strongest one, was the strongest one, has been collapsed, which is the collapse of the state case.
Yeah.
And for me, for the relief sought that the state think now is to introduce the second docket so that they run them concurrently with this one. That is the relief sought. Otherwise, already their case has been collapsed. There's no need to proceed in the case with the 636 docket.
Yeah.
There's no need. They have to bring it to. They have to introduce the second one so that they run concurrently. The second point that I wanted to make is things that I have been saying in the past when I happened to call.
Yeah.
And today I will put it in a rule of law. I'm sure, Mr. Anonymous, you are aware of the minimus where the law has no cue. You say Mr. Nissi's cross-examination today was superb. Yesterday was superb. Yeah, it was superb because it was short, straight to the point.
Yeah.
The other things that we asked, the bullet was next to the jar. When it comes to the scale, the logo of the justice system is the scale, the two scale, where we weigh the state, we weigh the defense.
Yeah.
So will that put weight on the scale? What put weight is what Mr. Nissi was putting across to him. He killed it.
Yeah.
It add weight. The minimum where the law has never has no cue to it. Those are the evidence which will be given in court, but the judge won't even consider when writing the verdict.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the points that I wanted to put across today.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. They are noted.
Thank you.
Yes. Yep.
There's no weight. And Nissi is good at doing that.
I hope that I've killed this sound. Someone called on WhatsApp. But guys, continue calling.
The
continue
lines
liking.
are now open. If you are new to this platform and you don't know what number to
Zanzi,
call,
hello.
scrolling down below.
Hello, how are you guys?
We good, sir. How are you? Are you there?
Wishy get.
Right. Nzanzi, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
Good. Just a few comments on the case.
Yes.
Yes.
The first part is that I'm very sad about what's going on right now. For me, these people where allegedly there's a cover-up that's going on. And for me, they are nobody. You know, you're covering up for these people who are like Zanzi celebs. You know, they're such there's such nobodies in this country for me. That means that in general, so many cases go unsolved. And if they're covering up for such nobodies, I've got no hope for our police service. That's the first part. The second part is, unfortunately, because of what's being presented in this case, it's impossible for the other case, 636, where these guys are going to can be, or 675, I can't remember which one it is.
375.
375, sorry, 375. I think it's very, very difficult for them to be found guilty because of such poor police work from the get-go. And they can also then point to that there was another case, then they can have decent, reasonable doubt. I don't think anyone will be ever found guilty of this case unless someone goes there and admits what happened.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Otherwise, this is going to go unpunished.
Yeah. No, we hear you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hana, it is scary, guys. It is very scary that it made it to trial.
No, what you see the problem is it's scary.
It's scary.
What I look at is, what about me who
doesn't
was
have
just
money for the lawyers?
No one. You understand? What happens then?
And then there's an accusation.
Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
What is? Hello, I'm back on the line again.
Yes, sir.
I was trying to raise my point about this judge.
Please do.
The way I'm predicting this whole case is that these 5 accused are going to be found guilty because he's making it obvious, as we can see, that he's on their side. So this nation, we need to deal with this guy, like definitely. That the witnesses are so rude. They're making it obvious that they're lying to us. It's clear that these people from the house and the police, they're really incompetent. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys.
Yeah, you're making sense.
No,
yeah, so I foresee the case. Yeah, so I foresee the defense losing the case because he's making it obvious and difficult for them to cause pressure. Thabo Mosia make jokes to us like, really, that guy, he's a joke. He's a joke, honestly. So Musia is a joke, guys. And the whole case is a joke on its own, but it's painful for the Veiws family, to be experiencing such injustice in this country. So it's really sad, guys.
No, we hear you.
It's really sad.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Very much.
There was a comment.
Zan, say hello.
Okay, it's here.
What's going to say? How are you? Yes.
Baba, izolo zange ngikhona ungena ngabe kubambekile kodwa ngiyengabukeli mina. Kunento engiyibonile la. I think uphoyisa umthetho njoba umshoro bekafuna ama qualification akhe. I think it's fair ukuthi awalethe because number one, I think he was lying nagathi uthule emsebenzini sebavalini. No submitter izinto zakhe ama qualification wakho. Umixa only ama-photocopy, you don't take ama-originals. Because nasuke endlini eze nawo ama-originals welo wakhe we-matric ene. Mina ngiyasola ngathi akanayo i-matric lo baba. Ngiwakhona khona hayi ngiyasola. Ngenze lo umhlolo la ifuna ngakhona i-matric nami ngaqeda i-matric ngo-95. Ngabe ngasifuna some certificate ngathi ngisibeke eduze kunzima manje. And umthetho, I think you should do some research ukuthi ubani umuntu ayiphethe amaphoyisa ngo-2014. If you can check that, I think you will get why umthetho akhona ungena esiphoyiseni. Allegedly, if we check ukuthi ubani wayephethe amaphoyisa ngaleso sikhathi. But bonke labantu laba ayi. And besides, angisathuka noma i-judge ngenzani. I-evidence ekhishwe namhlanje nayizolo, I don't know bazoyijumpa kanjani because already isibhamu ayisiso salabantu laba accused. So I don't know how they're gonna play around it. And the more baletha ama-witnesses bayimosha and kahle amapolice like ngiyabheka from kulo shisho bekakhumalo ukuthi sebafuna ukuba famous these people. So I think i-court ngakho isho ukuthi if ufuna ukuba ukuboniswa e-TV, you want to be shown with your face, you are allowed. I think sizobona umhlolo omkhulu kakhulu futhi lapho abantu bazokhuluma ba-ethe bakhale lezinto eziningi. Ngiyabonga.
Siyabonga kakhulu mfethu.
Ngigcina lapho.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All is alleged. This is Mzansi, the way of alleging assumptions, and that's what we do. Keep them coming, and please.
Somebody asked us to translate after the calls that were done in Venek.
Do try.
So what I remember from the last phone call is that Mtetwa, should I mention the Mtetwa part? That he
just said,
rude.
Look at the surname and look at who was in charge.
He is
as
rude.
Policeman.
He said he's rude and he acts, and they should also follow through on Advocate Mshara's request for Mtetwa to bring his qualifications, because the way things are happening, he's alleging that he may not even have a matric. I don't know about that, but another thing that he talked about is that what's the second last part that he said?
I think I've mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically that's what people are saying, and did I remind you?
It's a request from non-Zulu speakers.
Yeah.
Asking for a translation after the call.
No, I understand. Let's have calls. You have time. You can call.
All of it is alleged, by the way.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah, you know, some of it when you try to translate it, it can actually put you into
trouble.
It's better said in Zulu and
left that. Yeah. So yeah, guys. Yeah. So the lines are open. You can now call in.
Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mzansi.
Hey, what you say?
Good and you, Mr. Anonymous.
We're good, sir.
Yeah, I see Emily is doubting the work of the forensic. Can I be off topic today?
For how long?
I won't be long.
Okay.
I know you follow some cases. My brother was killed among the people who were killed by a Radovan crasher. You remember the story of one Zimbabwean guy who was killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the person who killed my brother, he was caught after 1 year. He confessed that he killed my brother somewhere in his house. They had to take my brother's daughter to do the DNA and take her to the place where he killed my brother in his house. Even if you clean the house, the blood, you cannot take it. There's a chemical that they can use to retrieve that blood in order to do DNA. So this case, they are covering up everything.
So those things are here in South Africa?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Oh, so it happened here in South Africa?
Yeah, it happened here in South Africa. The case of Radovan Crasher, you were not following.
I know of it.
I know of it. Just that when you are saying it, when you are saying it,
check among the people who were killed. Who were killed by Radovan Crasher. There's only one black person. Okay. That was my brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we hear you. No, thank you very much. Why we are asking, we are not doubting the case. You know, sometimes you have to ask yourself when someone says...
It's only that these people were compromised. It's only that these people were compromised. Thank you. My 1 minute is up.
Thank you. And when you put it like that, thank you very much. Because looking at Musia, we are very worried as people that don't have access to forensic police stuff and information. we are worried. We are concerned.
You know why why I discard even forensic in South Africa. How many times do we have homes that are broken to, and then people come and say no? In fact, sometimes they say we will come and take fingerprints and all that. They never come. Sometimes. So I think it works. I don't know. Maybe if you use it, you pay for it. I don't know. You know those things where you use and pay.
Or if it's a very, very, very serious case where they really want it to be solved. It doesn't look like Senzo's case. That's the case.
Good evening, guys.
Hi, how are you?
How are you, Mr. Anonymous? Hello, Emily.
Hi.
How are you guys?
All good.
Thank you for such an amazing show, guys. You keep us updated. You spend your time gathering information for us just to discuss and be up to date with this case.
Yes.
A case where the state is being proven that they sentence innocent people.
Yes.
I liked it, Mr. Anonymous, when you said every week that comes through. So far, they haven't proven anything. I believe at some point, maybe it was a good thing that this case had to be restarted because since I understand that the guys are being paid by legal aid now, maybe at some point they would have advocates and we wouldn't have much. Maybe it would have just been a walkover. Now that the advocates are there, everything is now in the open. That there's nothing that holds water in this case.
No,
absolutely. Even if Baloy can bring 1,000 people, even if he can bring 1,000 people, it seems like they're all gonna just beat about the bush, and there's nothing except the judge seems to be the only person that is believing that there is something there. But otherwise, the witnesses, they prove nothing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sebo. Yeah. So, what do you think? Sia is not coming back tomorrow.
Nah. It has happened before.
We're gonna be seeing a new person to come and testify.
Yeah, might be paused.
Yeah.
Or he may come, but there'll be another early adjournment. That's my prediction, in my opinion. This is Musia we're talking about.
She started hallucinating, basically.
This is Musia we're talking
allegedly.
So, anything can happen tomorrow. We'll wait until 10 o'clock. Rather today, yes. Until
today, Friday.
Until 10 o'clock.
We'll be cruising nicely and saying that it's going to be Friday very soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be, when Friday starts at 6 o'clock. So,
I don't see him coming back. And
so
if
you
he does,
think he can give us a day off?
Adjournment.
He's going to give us a day off.
I think so.
So I ask a question, guys. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow? You think Musia is coming back? It's going to be well and good. But if he comes back, it's only a couple of minutes, I think. And then they will let him go. Come on.
No, Advocate Mshololo uzokross-examine.
No, I don't think he should. They've, like they bayihlinzile bayiqeda ngesizulu. Bayekele.
Yeah, whenever I get
just let them put the big and wait for the next one. And the other thing, let Khumalo finish, and then from the other thing is it's pointless to scrutinize this thing. Already there are loopholes.
Already,
and the sooner they come, these 100
bucket is empty.
Yeah,
there are so many holes.
Yeah, so why should we hold on? The sooner they come, this 109, right?
That's
yeah,
the highest to pick.
Yeah, that's more mediocre. This case is gonna look. It's gonna look even worse. Let them come. They expect. Cell phone expects. I don't know. Aeroplane expect. Let them come.
We're waiting for the ballistics. The ballistic experts. And we also need the doctor that performed Senzo's postmortem. We need, who else? The people in the house. Khumalo.
People in the house, those are big ones. Ne? I like them to be...
At the end.
Yeah, start with these ones because you have already started messing up. It seems as if
you know what the nice thing about bringing these experts first is that they will have a lot more juice and a lot of when the people in the house eventually come.
Yes.
So that's the nice part. They'll have a lot more to say.
Let them come and then give us an extra, since the state decided to do otherwise.
They can recall some of them.
Give us an extra person, which is Kelly. Obvious Kelly is we are told is not part of the people that will testify.
Recall Tumelo and Zanti.
No, there's no need to call these people. And why would you call? It's an empty cab. That's what I'm trying to say. It's an empty cab. It's not like you are going to get, there's a bit of water there. It's empty.
There should be perjury, some perjury charges.
No, the quicker you finish this case, the sooner we get into 375, where they are going to be sitting on the other side.
But you heard what the judge said.
Forget about the judge. Who said the judge is going to be the same judge that is going to be dealing? These are two different cases.
All right.
The judge is going to go back to his retirement.
No, he can go back.
After this, then he's going to go back. They can bring whoever they want to bring. In fact, if Mr. Afro is feeling better, he can come back. It's not a problem. It's fine. I'm fine with that. I don't mind.
You really don't mind deciding over 375?
Yes. Once they are on the other side, that's okay. That's okay. I want to tell the truth. We've been wanting to tell the truth for many years. Our truth is we own our truth and stuff like that.
God knows my truth. I know my truth.
We are tired of watching these series and what is this? What is soapies and whatnot? Let them come. They must bring back. They must bring back Mr. Afro to preside on this one.
It will be a nice redemption for him.
Yes. I mean, he left before the case finished, so he would redeem himself. Yeah. So.
Abuya 375.
So, guys, I think there's no one calling, and we should adjourn. It has been nice to be here. I think I enjoyed more today. I spoke less. I made things easier for us. No hidden codes and whatnot.
No, I loved Musia's testimony and cross-examination.
It's unfortunate that he had to get sick.
It's unfortunate. Confused
and all
Not
that.
Sick,
confused. And that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But honestly speaking, I have nothing against Musia. Musia must go and occupy his position there by a standard 10. And if it happens that I pass by a standard 10 there and they have a problem, I will trust that Musia is that side. We'll deal with that issue. Because, by the way, it's my way home. Right, guys, thank you very much. We love you. Thank you for... this one is the last one. Sansi, hello.
Hello, Johnny.
What's going on, I'm Johnny?
That's Corona.
Yes.
My sister there, they're good.
I'm good, and you?
I am well. Just a little bit of flu.
Yes.
Ngiyabonga guys. Ngale show yenu hayi. Siyafunda nathi.
Siyabonga.
Yeah.
Siyabonga.
Manje kula abantu bakhona abantu basilalele nabo labantu. Bakhona. Manje ngithi why even one person? Basabisa ngani labantu uthi just one person to confess ukuthi hey what happened? Nobody want to come out to say, guys, this is what happened. Akhona amanye amacala, bakhona abantu bathi state witness, somebody tend to be a state witness, but labantu babasabisa ngani? Babasabisa ngani lento ukuthi hayi uthi abantu bawu7 or 6, nobody want to come to be a state witness to say no to what happened, because now we can see that the state is just wasting our taxes. The money is just wasting. Because like now, if you can see, the state is just jumping then left and right. Because according to them, the state, these guys, because they didn't, izofika bathi hayi labafowethu siyababosha abanye bavumile khona lama confession yabo sizoceda ngabo maybe usine manzi hayi izoba uthi bavumile icala bayangena phakathi, but hey utefo ngapha
disturb the whole process.
Athi hayi ithi mina ngize ngimele labantu ngoba enye into ngifuna ikhuluma, uyabona bathi umnishi ubaloyi uthatha abantu from other cases, ngoba into ngiyibona manje ngithi if lo accused number 3 ilo yabe ibe umnishi ngalesikhathi kule cala lawo lawo Cleveland okuphi, ama question abuzayo labo phoyisa u2 if kume umunye judge abathatha ama fingerprint abenza kuloko naloko, so istate ivula amanye amacala ubaloyi ngapha, ngoba if umnisi angayathi hayi mina ngiyo wenze iyaphili kula inye case, ngoba already ubaloyi expose lamanye ama case. Umnisi if unemali angaya afake iyaphili lapha uthi hayi vele le case hayi kuna something.
Yeah, they can reopen the case the same way the state can actually reopen that case. No,
you see, so it's ubaloyana. That's why ngithi kulabantu babasabisa ngoba ngibe ngafona anomkhazi ngathi ngizwe ivoice yomunye umuntu, hayi but ngoba hayi ngeke ngikhulume but ngizwile ivoice. Voice ngathi ivoice ivoice ngizwile yomunye umuntu ngayizwa le voice.
Thank you, Papa.
Please.
Yeah. We have talked to caller, by the way. Let me hear. Someone.
Mr. Anonymous and Emily.
Hi.
How are you doing?
We are good.
Yeah, I think Musia can come back tomorrow.
Why are you going to disturb other kids?
Answer tomorrow, then maybe he can change. Saying I can't remember. Yeah, maybe.
Right. This was a voice recording, so I had to play it.
Was it recorded just now when we were live?
Yeah, it was recorded now, just now. It talks about Musia. Thank you very much, guys. Bye from us. We need to rest. I still need to move and go and reach home. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank
Bye.
you, guys. Bye.